So hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video, so be kind. Hello everyone, I'm going to review the movie Obsession in this video, which was recently hit the theaters in India and was directed by Gary Baker, who is just 26 years old. So first thing first, we have four main characters in this movie. The main one is Bear and his three co-workers, Nikki, Sarah, and Ian. All four of them work in a local music store, and Bear has a crush on his co-worker Nikki. Now, Bear and Ian are best friends, and also Sarah has a crush on Bear. So we know all the equation right now. Now, in the first scene, Ian was helping Bear confess his love or feelings to Nikki, so they were practicing in the coffee shop. After that scene, we see that all four of them decided to go to the club. But at first, Bear was not ready to go. He go to home, but he get a call from his friend Sarah that you must come, and also Nikki has lost his Christian necklace. So Bear see this as an opportunity to buy her a new one. So he goes to a local shop to buy Nikki a new necklace. While he was there, he see a bizarre one wish willow product he buy for himself. Now he goes to the club. While he was there, he was trying to confess his love, but he couldn't. He was very shy, and his friend Ian also helping him to buckle up and confess your feelings in front of Nikki, but he couldn't. So after the night, uh, Bear decided to drop Nikki. Now, when they reached there, Nikki and Bear, Nikki suddenly asks Bear if he has any romantic feelings for her. But Bear panics and chickens out and nervously denies it. She walks away, and Bear sits in his car, utterly furious with his own cowardness. In a moment of pure and impulsive frustration, he snapped the one wish willow and wished out loud that Nikki loved him more than anything in this world. After that wood snap, the camera stays at Nikki, who's literally stopped dead in her track on the porch. She turns around and walks back to Bear's car and asks to stay at his place. At that night at his house, things get incredibly strange. Nikki starts acting completely out of character. She takes off her shirt, initiates this intense aggressive kiss, but suddenly screams out in absolute panic and pulls back. A deeply freaked out Bear decides to sleep on the floor. Next morning, Bear finds his cat Sandy has died from accidentally eating his grandmother's old prescription medicine. But instead of normal mourning, Nikki has taken the cat's body and built this bizarre candlelit memorial shrine on the kitchen floor to try and comfort him. Later, she brushes off her erratic behavior by claiming she was just on drugs and firmly confesses her love to Bear. We get this quick and almost mocking rom-com montage of them happily dating. Now, things start going rapidly downhill. Ian called Bear and revealed that right before she started dating, Nikki explicitly told Sarah she only saw Bear as a little brother. When Bear gently confronts Nikki about her sudden shift, she flies into a violent, screamy, and defensive rage. The obsession turns terrifying physically. One day, Bear has a shift at the music store without her. To prevent him from leaving, Nikki literally duct taped the entire front door shut. Bear forces his way out anyway, leaving her smiley blankly in the living room. When he returns hours later, she hasn't moved a single inch. She was standing in the exact same spot, covered in sweat and her own waste, and urinated and vomited right over there. Now, Bear panicked, looked at the original one with yellow packaging, and called the customer care. The creepy representative gave Bear the horror of a lifetime, that there is no going back, and if he wants to get things back to normal, Bear has to die. Now, the next scene is the party scene. Till now in the movie, no, everybody notices that Nikki behave very weirdly, and nobody wants her to come in the party. But Nikki forces herself along with Bear, and during the drinking game of Jana, she recites this deeply disturbing, violent uh, Hansel and Gretel story. Then comes the uh, game of Dare, where Bear has to kiss Sarah. Nikki violently forces Sarah out of her seat, kisses Bear, and then begins screaming and stabbing her own face with a broken glass. Bear takes her to the hospital, but she refuses treatment, forcing him to bring her back to the home. Later that night, Nikki has a brief, terrifying moment of ludicrousy. Now, she sheds real tear, admitting that her true consciousness is trapped inside her own body like a prisoner. Shortly after, Sarah texts Bear to meet secretly at a park. Sarah warns him that Nikki is dangerous and implies her own feelings for him. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Nikki violently bursts through the car window. In a brutally gory sequence, she grabs Sarah's head and repeatedly smashed it against a brick wall until Sarah is dead, calmly telling a horrified Bear to go home while she cleaned up the mess. Now we have to talk about Sarah and Bear. Sarah always has a crush on Bear, and when he when she sees Nikki was in madly love with Bear, but this is not a very good relationship. It was a toxic relationship. So, as a friend, also she come to give comfort to Bear and ask him about what is going on. While they were talking, Sarah told Bear that they were about to kiss. She was in his left, and then Nikki came. Now, after that sequence, our Bear was hopeless. He wants things go back to normal. So Bear runs back to the crystal shop and buys up all the remaining one wish willow. He tracked down Ian and confesses everything. He begs Ian to use a willow to unwish the spell. But Ian thinks Bear is having a psychotic break. So in sarcasm, Ian says, "Sure, man, I wish I had $1 million," and snap the stick. Instantly, the actual cash starts raining from the ceiling. Ian realizes it's real, but it's too late. Bears runs back to his house and finds a scene straight out of hell. Nikki is there with Sarah's mutilated corpse, and she has actually skinned Sarah, attempting to wear her attributes so Bear will love her more. Ian showed up at the house about his new money, but possessed Nikki instantly shot him dead in the face. Completely concerned and losing his mind, Bear realizes that the only way out of this is his own death. He grabs his grandmother's lethal pills and swallows them. But at the very last second, his core cowardness kicks in. He panics, regrets it, and shoved his finger down his throat, trying to throw the pills in the bathroom. Then there is a sudden audio whoosh and a subtle camera shift. Bear instantly stops gagging and his face goes completely black. In the background, we hear this faint, eerie jingle of one wish willow snapping. We realize that while Bear was in the bathroom, the possessed Nikki found one of the extra willow he brought home. She used it to wish that Bear would love her just instantly. The curse takes the total control of him, turning him into a hollowed out of shell. Completely brainwashed, Bear mindlessly walks out of the bathroom, embraces Nikki, and kisses her passionately. Right as a little dose of the pill hits his system, and he drops that in her arm, the movie ends on a horrifying note of a poetic justice. Bear is dead, meaning the curse is finally lifted from Nikki. The real Nikki suddenly wakes up entirely back in her own mind, only to find herself standing in a room full of mutilated corpses of her closest friends. Realizing she was entirely conscious for every single horrific thing her body was forced to do, fades back. In the end, I like to say that this movie is a must watch, and if you are looking for a good and new concept horror movie, you should watch it on Amazon Prime. And please share this video with your friends and family. I see you in the next video. Please subscribe and like this channel. Thank you.